All right, she is one of the best comedians out there. She has a new 1-hour special coming out, and you can see her at Helium Comedy Club this weekend. Jessica Kirson, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
My producer says that you're in your walk-in closet. Is that the best place for reception? Is that the reason for that?
I'm in my walk-in closet because this is where I have the most space and the most privacy to do this interview with you. That
makes sense. I think that checks out very well. So talk about your 1-hour special. We'll talk about you being at Helium, but this is a really big deal because as comedians know, and you know, like an hour is a big deal, right?
Yes, it is. I did a 1-hour special on Comedy Central called Talking to Myself that was produced by Bill Burr. And I work with Bill a lot. I'm recording a Netflix special this fall that will be on probably in February on Netflix. And then I also have a crowd work special that I already made, which is amazing, which is coming out on my YouTube channel, Jessica Kirson Comedy, which I filmed at the Comedy Cellar in New York City. And it's called No Material. I went up with absolutely no jokes, and I just did all crowd work with a live band. And I think the funniest thing I've ever done in my career.
Were you nervous doing that? Because you're really banking on the crowd being good at that point.
Yeah. Well, it's my thing. It's what I'm known for. I have a huge social media presence on YouTube and TikTok from crowd work. So I've always been, really good at it. And it's like why a lot of people come to see me is to see me do crowd work. I mean, I have a complete act where I do my jokes also, but people love my crowd work. So, I mean, yes, I was a little nervous because you never know if the crowd's going to be good and if the crowd work is going to be, the interactions are going to be good. But I was shocked at how great it was. I really was blown away. Like the first show I recorded 2 shows, and the first show was incredible, and the second show was even better. So I was really happy with it.
So you're going to be at Helium Comedy Club here in Indianapolis this weekend. People who come to the show, are they going to get that crowd work type of atmosphere? Is it going to be kind of a mix of everything?
Yeah, I mean, I always do crowd work in my sets, and then I also do a ton of material too. And I think that's what people love. They love, like that it's just different every time. I never do the same set twice. And I'm really like an entertainer. I mean that. Like I give people a show. That's what everyone says. Yeah. You don't have to think a lot when you come to my show. And I'm very quick. It's not a lot of pauses and, you're sitting around kind of waiting for the next joke. I feel like people really deserve that. If you're going to spend money, you deserve to be entertained and to see a show. And I really appeal to men and women. There's I sell out shows everywhere, and a lot of men come to see me without women, which is very rare for a female comic. And I purposely appeal to men and women. So, I'm not even a specific kind of comic. I do a ton of crowd work. I do a ton of characters. I do very set up punchline kind of jokes. So I do all different kinds of comedy also.
You've worked with some of the biggest names in comedy. I mean, obviously you mentioned Bill Burr, Dave Attell, Howard Stern. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. When did you first realize that you were funny? Like, was there a moment you can think back on and go, hey, wait a second, I might be able to do this professionally?
Well, I mean, not to be like cliche, I was always funny.
Yeah.
I found out the power of humor as a young child, and I always used humor to deal with pain. That's really true. I was not like a happy kid, and I always was able to laugh at myself and laugh at my issues in life. And I always was the class clown. Always. And I was always silly. I always made silly faces. And I never was interested in stand-up. When I was in my 20s, my grandmother was the one that told me to do stand-up comedy because she was like, every time you're around people, they're laughing. It's your gift and you need to do this. And I was like, I could never stand in front of people and make them laugh. I'm petrified. And she said, you need to do this. It's your calling. And this is what you're supposed to be doing. And I was lost in life. And I took a class and I realized that, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do. I was good at it. Like I noticed that it was something I thought I could try and I could do. And I just it's 24 years later.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing it. It's amazing.
It is amazing, and we are thankful that your grandmother made you take that leap because we're blessed to get to watch you and hear you, and you are hilarious. I love your stuff on social media. I'm excited for the stand-up, and everyone's excited for you to be at Helium. So, Jessica, thank you so much for spending some time with us, and safe travels when you get here to Indy. We look forward to you being here.